What do you mean in practice? What are we, before we hand weapons to somebody in Syria, what are we testing them in some way? Are we doing other things with them? What kind of training are you talking about?
Yeah, I would say it's woefully inadequate in almost every case, but it's the best we can do, given that we don't really work inside of Syria. We obviously have parts of the US government that are working inside of Syria, but it was not their main beat, and they were not that well established, and they did not have the depth or the breadth that you would want to, if you were, say, the president. But what we have tried to do is we've tried to use initially train and equip, because we had a very narrow legal window for members of the non-violent opposition. We brought them in, we give them 5 days of training, we've given them FM, we've created an FM radio network all over the country. So
what kind of training? That's what I'm trying to get at.
The training initially was on technical use of safe computers, safe communications media. What we wanted to do is we wanted to give them the capacity to be able to communicate with each other inside the country and not get killed. So we had to train them on that. Over time, it's become more the responsibilities of being the leaders of a so-called liberated area or of an opposition area. We've now moved into, actually there are literally thousands of defected police inside of Syria. They are credible in their communities because they defected. The act of defection was a pretty risky one, but they've been playing the role of police without any pay, because there's no revenue stream in the opposition area. They don't collect taxes really. So we've just gotten clearance from the Senate, our last hold last week, to be able to provide stipends, very modest stipends, $150 a month, enough to keep somebody on the job. Rather have a trained policeman who's trusted by the community than have to bring in a new crowd or bring in an international group that doesn't know the place. So it's obviously the shorter and easier route, although it's hardly that. But we've also given them rule of law training, international humanitarian law. We have to run them through a vetting system. We use the intelligence community and everybody else who's got any record on anybody, but these are tough places to really know who you're talking about. Mike and I found this when we worked in Haiti, that there were an awful lot of Jean-Pierre Jeans and Jean-Pierre and Jean-Pierre Pierre.
The vetting.
And they were all human rights abusers, right. And it was a little bit like dealing with McCarthy lists. So it's a tough business.